Hey guys, so welcome to another trading session. And today's webinar is going to be totally different from what I've been doing in the past 3-4 years. And primarily today's webinar is solely based on pre-recordings. So I'm going to pick an asset which has a good COT indication, and I will check that in correlation with seasonality and probability and also some technical indications to know if that asset is going to be aligned for us to trade or not. And the purpose of this session is to keep it as concise and compact as possible. And also it's primarily for educational use only. So this will show you guys on how to use the tool and guide you in accordance to trading. So let's begin. The first thing we do is when you log onto the website, you see this platform. And if you go on the COT report section, you should see assets, different assets you can look into. So we have various ones, but for concise sake, in order to make this compact as possible, I've scanned through the first three, and I see CHF is looking good on the COT report. So as of last week, the COT report indicated that CHF has 4,000 new positions going short. Primarily, we trade only commercials, right? Commercials, we don't pay attention to non-commercials. We pay attention mostly to commercials, and we pay attention to their changes. So we see short means sell, long means buy. So we see that the commercials are going short. And if you look at the opposite, the non-commercials are going long. Now, non-commercials are people like you and I, retail traders. Commercials are people that actually use this for their normal daily business. So some people might need to buy some items in Switzerland, for example, and they might need, Swiss franc to do that purchase. So they buy these currencies in the futures so that they'll be able to carry on with their normal business transactions. So that's why we pay attention to the commercials, because they don't really look at the market to make money off the movement of it. They're trying to get the best price possible for their buck, right? While the non-commercials are people that actually look at the movement and try to make, make predictions on the market. So what we can see right here is if we go on Notepad, we go COT, CHF, and short. And then let's check seasonality. See. So the next thing is we check seasonality for when this short is most likely going to be. Now, we are the 23rd, right? So 23rd right here. Now, this doesn't look like short. It looks like the price is going to go long, but not surely after, at the end of the month or at the start of next month, we might see the trend of the short pulling through. So these guys might be taking a position just for this side. So they might have placed pending orders, for example, at, let's say, we're looking at USD CHF right now. They might have placed pending orders at, let's say, somewhere down here, right? And they're expecting price to get to this, let's say, double bottom by the end of it. And then they trade and buy that. So because the main reason I'm saying short and buy now is because if you have USD CHF, if CHF is going to go short, then USD is most likely going to go long. So if we go on that on the daily time frame, we can see this, and you won't be able to see properly unless you went on the weekly, which is somewhere. Oh, asset has changed. Apologies. So I was looking at USD CHF. Yeah, so if we go on a daily time frame, we'll have seen this. Makes it difficult for you to identify where, a potential entry might be. I mean, there's different ones. If you go back, you can see somewhere around here might be a good potential entry. Somewhere around here might be a potential entry, or just somewhere around here is a potential entry. So right now, where price is somewhere around there. So because we know that on seasonality, we're waiting for them to come in. We're waiting for the short to kick in around this part. So we just have to wait to the end of the month and just start looking at this asset, put it on a watch list and wait for it. And by the 1st of next month, you can take your long position. Ideally, maybe prices bottom out to this section. Now, to confirm that position, there's a tool we call probability tool. Now, because we know, let me just write the date down for this. So entry is possibly the 1st or the 4th, right? Maybe even the 5th or the 7th, but between the 1st and the 6th will be our entry. So let's say CHF between first, sixth, short, right? First to sixth. We put that in May, we go short, right? Now, we need to figure out which asset are we going to trade. You know, we just have only CHF right there. We're not trading in futures, so we need something called probability. Now, probability is going to allow us to point out or pinpoint which CHF pair we can look into. So I tend to load all the CHF pair and look at which one has the alignment for me on that specific date, right? So what I'll do here is I'll load all the probability, right? So we're looking at May. So if we go next, and because we have CHF JPY, we're expecting CHF to go short between this time period. What we want to look for is where CHF will go sell, which one has the highest percentage of going sell. So we see on the first, which is we have a range between the first and the sixth right here. So we can nullify 6, knowing that 6 is a weekend. And on the first, it's not going our way. Second, not going our way. Third, seems like a good idea. And then from the third, starts going short up until the week after. And it looks like 3 days after that short. Now, the way I trade probabilities, I need 3 days to go in the direction that I want. So if I have 3 days going in the direction that I want, then I take that trade. So what I'll do is I'll mark out this asset at CHF. I'll go short from third till, so we go short from third, and I just have to go back to seasonality. It's gonna just get the exact date. So we go from, so let's say around here. I mean, you have to come into the market and observe properly, but it might look like a 5-year trend, or it might look like any other, maybe 15 or 45 years trend. But we can see from here, we can trade that up until maybe the 10th, or if we're lucky, up until the 15th. So till 10th or 15th. Now, you might be wondering, it's not exact numbers or exact dates that I'm giving. The primary reason is because in the market, nothing is exact. It's fluid, it's moving, right? It's based on emotion. So you have to also engage with it after a period of time. So if you're going on the third and you're in profit for a very long period of time, you check on the 10th and see how the technicals are looking. If you have some news around that period, you know, and move your stop loss way into the profit area. So if just in case price might turn the opposite direction, you're prepared and you have enough profit. If not, then you would have to, you know, hold your trade till maybe the 15th, right? So that's the one for CHF JPY. Now let's look at Euro CHF. Now, because it's Euro CHF, if we're expecting CHF to go short, then Euro should ideally go long. So we're looking for buy in this instant, right? So between the first and the sixth, right? Now, the first gave 53%, but shortly after it went down and it went up, down. We don't do that. What we're looking for is straight buys, right? 3 days straight, you need that buy, because if it doesn't work the first day or second day, most likely the third, you would be in your favor. So from what I can see here, Euro JPY, Euro CHF doesn't look that good. So we let that go. We move to the next one, CHF. CAD CHF, and we look at the same thing. We're looking for long, so we don't have that. We have 2 days right here, so we exit that. Then USD CHF, let's see, maybe we'll get some kicks out of this. Yeah, we get it on the 5th, right? We got that 67% on the 5th, and then it goes all the way through the week after. Beautiful. You can see the week after, everything goes straight up in our favor. So what we'll do is USD JPY, no, here's the CHF along 5th till Same applies 10th or 15th of May, right? Now, keep in mind, this is primarily for educational use only. You can trade this if you want to, but I'm primarily just showing you my way or my perspective of looking at the market. So the next asset is GBP CHF. GBP CHF doesn't look that good until the 5th as well. So yeah, but after that breaks down, but it should be enough to pull us through. So all right, so we go GBP CHF. And then same thing. And then let's see, maybe we get one for the AUD side. Now I'm just giving you different variation. You get to choose whichever one you want to trade. If you want to trade the USD, the GBP, you look at it, whichever one resonates with you best, you take that and you trade with that. You run with that. So with AUD CHF, no, it doesn't look good at all on any of them. So, and then NZD CHF. So NZD came in from the start, literally from the first, that week looks strong, and then the week after looks strong as well, except for one day, but everything else looks strong, and even the week after that looks strong. So there's a possibility, this is a trade that you could possibly hold till the 15th. So all right, so we'll go. So, but this time around it's from the first, right? So, and this one looks a little bit more interesting, so I'm going to leave that at that, right? So now I can't really classify if they're low risk, high risk, or medium risk yet. But as the day goes by and as we get closer to the date, what we can do is now start eliminating. If next week's COT report comes, or no, this week's COT report comes and CHF still remains short, that's perfect indication that CHF is most likely going to lose its strength. And then we would be absolutely correct in holding that trade. Now, another way to look at it is I like to look here, on COT report, you can see it's bottoming out heavily already. So if it's already bottoming out heavily, then most likely we're going to see that drop happening, right? So far it's in alignment with what we have. So if you have that full alignment, the possibility of the asset moving towards your direction is higher. So, and you can see there's a massive drop. It's been trying to hold up on this line since 2022 or maybe even 2021. So if it breaches next week and we get a further sell going down, then most likely this trade is going to be a low risk trade. So that's all I have for you guys today. The way I'm making this webinars now, I'm making them very short and concise and just straight to the point, and they're going to be mainly replays for you. So if you have any questions, feel free to chat on the Telegram group or leave a comment in this video, and I will be sure to get back to you. Thank you guys for watching, and catch you in the next one.